Chapter 9, verse 12.
Pranam, Swamiji.
We'll start with our prayer. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma amritam gamaya aviravirmayidhi. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Parthaya pratibodhitam bhagavata narayanena swayam Vyasena gratitam purana munina madhye mahabharatam advaitamritavarshinim bhagavatim ashtadashadhyayinim ambatvam anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita bhavadveshinim. Let we be protected, let we be nourished. Let we strive with energy and vigor. Let our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not to death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om peace, peace, peace. Om, O Bhagavad Gita, with which Partha was enlightened by the Lord Narayana himself, and which was incorporated in the Mahabharata by the ancient sage Vyasa. The Blessed Mother, the destroyer of rebirth, showering down the nectar of Advaita, and consisting of 18 chapters upon thee, O Bhagavad Gita, O loving Mother, I meditate. We'll also chant Sri Ramakrishna's name. Jai Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Jai Rama Krishna, 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 Jai Jai Rama Krishna. We are studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita and we are meeting after about 14 days. So little recapitulation is good. That reminds us where we are. As we know, first 6 chapters are based on the person, tat, tvam, tam padartha. That means what we are, how to progress in our spiritual life. And the second 6 chapters are tat padartha. That means what is that which we are worshipping, what is him. So tam padartha gives emphasis on self-effort mainly, but it has other components also, as what is God, how he incarnates, that we have already discussed. Now here mainly it is Ishvara Kripa, but here also self-effort is also there. We'll see gradually. And then we have in 9th chapter, we have 3 introductory shlokas where Sri Krishna says that be careful. What I am going to tell, it is very important, it's very subtle. Raj Vidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam. This is very pure. And it is very subtle and also secret. Therefore, you should not miss it. Then from 4th to 10th, what we have learned, that it is, in 7th chapter, we have already discussed, there are 2 prakritis, para prakriti and apara prakriti. Apara prakriti, what is objective world, and para prakriti is who creates this objective world. But there is a third, that means it is beyond all, cause of all causes. Even this para prakriti, what's the nature of this para prakriti? So here we have already gone. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagad abhyakta murti. It is abhyakta. Abhyakta means unmanifested. Unmanifested. How can we understand that it is unmanifested? Okay, let us take our example. We have some visible or perceptible existence. This world we perceive, when we perceive our body, we also perceive our mind. But how we perceive? So that is abhyakta. You cannot say how we perceive. So it is not that something Sri Krishna is introducing which has no head and legs. Rather, it is very concrete. Abhyaktam. It is unmanifested. It cannot be expressed. It cannot be. It cannot be said. Abhyaktam. So this is Maya tatamidam sarvam jagad abhyakta murtina matsthani sarvbhutani nachaham teshavasthi machamasthani bhutani pashyami yogameshava. He says all bhutas, all created being is in me. I am not in them. But then he reverses. I am also not in them. If you see yourself, you create your own world. Your likings, dislikings, etc., etc. You are in them as it were, but actually you are not in them. So it is not something which has no basis. So this is very much actually our nature, our higher nature, or what we worship. That is our Ishta, chosen ideal. That we are to see. So, and then what he also said, it is beyond Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. That means beyond sound, beyond touch, beyond say Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, form, rasas, sapidity, and smell. Therefore, see, you cannot smell yourself, your real being. You cannot hear your real being, but it is existing. It is very much there. So this is Abhyaktam. Then Sarvagatam, all pervading. You are in whole of your existence, in waking, in dreaming, in dreamless. You are there all the time. Your higher nature. Similarly, here we are to see how God describes himself. So this is asanga, also not attached. You are also not attached. If you see, you observe, you are as if attached, but you are not attached. So what I'm trying to say, that what he introduced himself is not something which we cannot understand. First impression will be, Swami, these are opposing sentences. Maya tatamidam sarvam, I am in all being, and they are in me. But no, they are also not me. I am also not in them. So you may argue, Swami, this is ridiculous. But what I'm trying to draw your attention at is that we also can understand this through our small intellect. So it is possible. And then also, it is cyclic, like a Abrahma Bhuna Loka Punaravartina Arjuna. So it comes into being and again it absorbed. So all this we have discussed. And cause of all causes. So this up to 10 we have discussed this. Now he also introduced something, Mayadhyakshayana Prakriti Suyate Saracharam. I am only the presiding deity. In my presence, everything happens. Prakriti does it. Prakriti does it. So it's also not new. As it is said, Prakriti Kriyamanani Gunai Karmani Sarvashaha Ahamkara Vimudatma Karta Aham Iti Manyate. Prakriti does it. Even your Prakriti. So it is like painting. We paint every day. It's our painting. Whatever we are, what our nature is, that we paint. So Prakriti Kriyaman, but I am the Shakshi, witness also. See, here light is witness. Similarly, the light that is within us, our consciousness, that is the witness. In its presence, everything happens. So this light is also outer. This consciousness is also outer expression. What is behind it? That is the point. So now this how to know it? So Bhagavan says, introduces this. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanum asritam param bhava majananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. So let me first translate it. Read it, translation. I am aware of me, my higher state. We are also unaware of our higher state. And what we understand? We are human being. See how it fits. Our scriptures can be explained in three ways. Say, one is Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, and Adhyatmik. Adi Bhautik means it really happened. Say Rama and Ravana, they were there, they fought. We can say that way also. But we also can explain that these are principles. Even today there is Rama, there Ravana, and fight is going on in a society. So in principle also it is happening. And suppose one can say, I don't admit so what you are saying. Still we can explain, okay, don't worry about whether it was physically Rama, Ravana was there or not. Or principally you admit or not, doesn't matter. Within you, you can find a Rama and Ravana. They are also fighting. So from three aspects we can explain our scriptures. This is beauty of this. So here, suppose we don't admit God, still we can see that it is true with ourselves. Avajananti mam mudha manusim tanum asrita. Those who are confused, those who are fools. Mudha means confused. Who are confused? Those who are fools. Unaware of my higher state as the great Lord of beings. Fools disregard me, dwelling in the human form. So he is dwelling within us. But we disregard him. We say, well, I'm a human being. But actually he is within us, here and now. This we are to understand. Avajananti. That means Avajananti. Ajananta, unaware. Avajananti, disregard. Avajananti. One disregards mom. Whom disregards? To me. They disregard me. Who? Mudha, the confused or fools. Manushim tanumasrita. I dwell or I take a form of human being. We can say an incarnation of God. How can a person, Girish Ghosh had this doubt. How can an ordinary person can be adored as God incarnate? Later he was clear of his doubt but he had that doubt. So this is not new. Even very intelligent people also are confused. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumasritam. How Godhead takes the form of human being. So it is possible. And why they are confused? Because they do not know my supreme nature. Param bhavam ajananta, not knowing. Ajananta means not knowing. Mama bhutamashan. I am the creator. I am the originator of all the creation. You are also originator of all your creation. You are the painter of all your paintings. You are the author of all your stories. But somehow we get confused. So, why this happens? Very important. Why this happens? It happens because Moghasha, Mogha Karmano, Mogha Jnana, Vichetas. So Vichetasa is the main point. Vichetasa means confused, whose understanding is not clear. Or we can say Avivekina. Aviveki means those who are not discriminating, not separating what is my real nature and what is this apparent being. Real man and apparent man. Real nature and what is this apparent nature. So because people are confused, aviveki, they cannot separate, segregate. And therefore, so if I do not know where to go, if I do not know, then I will not be get that enthusiasm to go there. So first we should know what is my real nature. And then Mogha Jnana. Mogha means futile. So if we cannot decide what is good, what is not good, if we cannot discriminate where to go and where not to go, then what will happen? The nature of knowledge also will be confused. And when knowledge is confused, then Mogha Karmanu, then also I'll be confused, I'll not do. That's why knowledge is very important. First, we should be able to discriminate. There are so many attractions, but what to decide, what to study, what to understand. When that is awakened within us, then what we'll do? Then our understanding will be clearer and clearer. And when understanding is clearer, then we'll try to do that. Mogha, yes. And our expectation and orientation also will be similar. We'll hope for better things. But if a person is non-discriminating, what will happen to them? His knowledge will be confused. And not only confused, he'll also do all sorts of wrong things. So see, what is the seed? Seed is aviveki. So first we should be clear. And how vivek comes? Vivek comes through satsanga. Vinu satsanga vivek na hoi, Rama kripa vina sulabha soi. Without satsanga, good companionship, we don't have vivek. That's why Sri Ramakrishna said satsang, satsang, sadhu sang. It's very important. Then only we can understand what is good, what is bad. And then we are encouraged to adopt what is good. And then we work on it. And we expect and also we hope for betterment. But here, Bhagavan is saying what is negative, because we have both kinds of things, by negation and by affirmation. So here he is telling us what is negation, what is negative. If we know what is negative, then we'll know what is positive. So vicheta saha, that means aviveki. Mogha asha, mogha karmano, mogha jnana, vicheta saha, raksasim asurim chaiva, prakritim mohinim sritaha. Of vain hopes, of vain works, of vain knowledge, and senseless, they verily are possessed of the delusive nature of Rakshasa and Asuras. So here, translation is good, but still we don't get it. That's why we need to understand the original. Vicheta saha, what is viveki? If one is not discriminating, then his knowledge will be confused. When his knowledge is confused, then his work also will be confused. He will pursue something which should not be pursued. And also his hope and hope, he'll hope against hope. So, and such a person is Rakshasim Asurim Cheva. That's negative. Rakshakula, it's not like a two horn and like all kinds of things. Ravana is Rakshakula. he was born in a clan of Raksha. So he was Brahmin, but his clan was like that. So Rakshasim, Asurim. And so we can say that time Assyrians, like, like not that time it was not Sattvic. So here we can say this way. Rakshasim, Asurim, Chaiva, Prakritim, Mohinim, Shrita. So Mohinim is another word. That means it multiplies. If a person is confused, then his knowledge will be confused. He pursue which his pursuance also will be confused, and also will strive for something which is not good. And in return, he will be more aviveki. He will be non-discriminating. And when he is non-discriminating, again he will walk in that way. So it is a cycle, or we can say vicious cycle. As he will do something wrong, his vivek, first, if somebody tells a lie, so he is a bit afraid. But second lie gives a little support. Third, fourth, fifth lie, then he tries to defend it. The intellect that is opposing in the beginning helps him to establish that lie. So intellect is double-edged sword. Like in a court, you can see two pleaders are opposing the point, and they'll take the same examples and they'll try to convince you that what they are saying is right. There was an example. A pleader was pleading against his client. So the judge said that, sir, I think you are defending your client, but you are telling against him. Yes, I wanted to tell you what my learned opposite solicitor will tell. Now I am discarding that. The same points he then discarded one by one. So similarly, this intellect is very difficult to handle. So as we are confused, we pursue a wrong goal. And as we pursue a wrong goal, we are more confused. So this is the Mohinim. That means it overpowers, as it were. So Rakshasim, Asurim, Chaiva, Prakritim, Mohinim, Shrita. Now this, let me, in Upanishad, it's very nice. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Kamamaya Evayam Purusheti. Whatever we are, it depends on our deep kamana, that means desire, deep driving desire. Whatever we are today, it's because of our desire. So kamamaya evayam purusheti sa yatha kamo bhavati tat kratur bhavati. So whatever we desire deep within us, and that also impulsive. So that tat kratur bhavati, that we do. And whatever we do, yat kratur bhavati tat karma kurute. That means he resolves. To resolve is because of our understanding, our wisdom. So whatever desire we have, we take resolve on that. And whatever resolve that we take, we work for it. So, sa yatha kamo bhavati tat kratur bhavati, yat kratur bhavati tat karma kurute. Yat karma kurute tad avisampadhyate. And whatever we work, whatever we strive for, we become that. So it is very important. Now let us see how even the Olympic, athletes, how they do. So they resolve. Then how they do? They tune the whole system for that. It's not that, they want to go to Olympic and they land there. No. So they change their diet also. Whatever is nourishing, what is not fattening, all kinds of, disciplines. So it is Annamaya. Similarly, a spiritual person should have his own kind of diet. It's not that we just do some japa. The japa is very good. That also is important. But the whole system is to be tuned for it, as athletes do it. So first diet, then they do some exercise. Every day they would do, say, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, maybe more. Certain kinds of exercises. If a person is weightlifter, so he'll do a certain kind of exercise, not any other. If he is a sprinter, he'll exercise in a particular way. If he's a long runner, in a different way. So this is pranamaya. Pranamaya. And then there will be some psychologist. They'll come and boost his, you can do it. You have that strength. Be courageous. They'll try to inspire. So manomaya, that means mind also should be tuned like that. Spiritual person, that he should be namby-pamby. It's not like that. Everything should be tuned accordingly. So manomaya also. Then some people will come and update. What is the latest? What is the, how you can go faster or you can jump longer. So updating knowledge, vijnanamaya, that is also important. And over and above that, even anandamaya, what is one's enjoyment? Even one should enjoy his sport. It's not that he's mechanically doing. So anandamaya also. Like all his system, we have 5 layers: annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya, vijnanamaya, and anandamaya. Sheath of food, this body should be tuned. Sheath of our vital forces, our efforts should be tuned. Sheath of our mind should be tuned. Sheath of our intellect should be tuned. And sheath of our even bliss. We must enjoy this. So when all this is there, then only, that's why, that mantra that I recited, Sava Ayam Atma Brahma Vijnanamaya. So this Brahman, what we are seeing, he is all pervading. Within us also he is all pervading. What is Brahma Vijnanamaya? It is knowledge, bliss, absolute. Vijnanamaya. Manomaya. It's in our mind, all pervading. Pranamaya, Chakshurmaya, Shrotramaya, Prithivimaya. See, all through our eyes, through our ears, he's expressing. But we have to understand what is this. That is our power of discrimination. Power of discrimination. So he is all pervading in and through all this. It is the same Brahman. Chakshurmaya, Shrotramaya, Prithivimaya, Apomaya, Vayumaya, Akashmaya, Tejumaya, Atejumaya. All. And Kamamaya, Kahamamaya, Krodhamaya, Akrodhamaya, Dharmaya, Adharmamaya, Sarvamaya. Tad yadetat idam ayam adomaya. So everything, he is pervading everywhere. So what we need to do, I'm not going, yes, then sadhu kari sadhur bhavati, papakari papo bhavati, punyaha punyena karmana papaha papena atha khalbahu. So he is all pervading here and hereafter, within, without, everywhere it is him. When it is there, what we need? The main thing is discrimination. We have to find out what is that. How to find it in all our activities. It opposes kama esha krodhesha rajoguna samudbhava. When there is rajoguna, excess of rajas, then this kama desire is transformed into krodha. One should be very careful about it. As Bhagavan said later, there are two enemies. And it is dwaram narshanam atmana. It is a door of destruction of oneself. The kama krodha. So this is to be discriminated. Kama esha krodha esha rajaguna samudbhava mahasano mahapapma vidyenam yavairinam. Know for certain this is your enemy. Kama and krodha, desire, expectation, and anger because of expectation. One should be very careful about it in spiritual life. Kama and krodha. So because it destroys our possibilities. Kamesha Krudesha Rajaguna Samudbhava Mahasana. It is unappeasing. Like fire. If you go on giving fuel, it increases. Mahasana, Mahapapma. It's sinful. Sin, not a Christian way. It's like bad karma. Mahasana, Mahapapma. Vidyanam Ihavedyanam. Know for certain. This is your enemy. So this is such a person who is non-discriminating. Vicheta saha mogha jnana. His wisdom is confused. His knowledge is confused. And when knowledge is confused, naturally, mogha karmano, his effort, also his karma, will be confused. Yeah, please sit down. Sit down. And moghasha, and his expectations, his hope also will be futile. Rakshasim asurim chaiva prakritim mohinim srita, and it will go on increasing. So that is what is this non-discriminating person will do. Now, on the other hand, Mahatmanastu Maham Partha Devim Prakritim Asritaha. Those who are great people, Mahatmanastu Maham Partha Devim Prakritim Asrita. So they will hold on to their divine character. They will worship me. Bhajanti Ananya Manasu. Ananya Manasu means without any aberration. It is Abhyavicharini Bhakti. Abhyavicharini means not deviating from the goal. But the great souled ones, who was son of Pritha, possessed of the divine Prakriti, again divine Prakriti, his own real good nature, divine Prakriti, knowing me to be the origin of beings and immutable, worship me with a single mind, not deviating from it. So, like if a person wants to enhance one's spiritual life, he'll get such environment. Say, if a person wants it, maybe in next birth, or even in this birth, he'll get favorable conditions where Pancha Mahayagya is being performed. So we have already told you many times, but it's Pancha Mahayagya. That means first is say Pitri Yajna, Deva Yajna, and Nri Yajna, and also Bhuta Yajna, and Deva Yajna, Pitri Yajna, and worship of gurus. So these are Pancha Mahayajnas. One should perform what is good, what is righteous. One should be thankful for to the parents for this present birth, and whatever services are possible, they should render those services to them. And everything happens by the will of God or the various principles of life, various principles like light, so Deva Yajna means Deva Dotanavan. So we can say Deva, that's a divine, what divine powers are there. We are to sacrifice, we are to perform favorable actions to enhance those principles. And then also like deities, divinities, they also help us. So we offer prayers to them. And then for our fellow being, Nri Yajna, that also to be done. Why? Because say, suppose we are sitting in this room, we did not construct this, somebody else did. So we also should do something for them. Maybe not exactly to those people who have constructed, but some other people, fellow being. Similarly, we get benefits from various animals. So we are to help animal kingdom also. We are to serve animal kingdom. So all these Pancha Mahayajnas. So Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Devim Prakriti Masrita. Devi Prakriti. That means divine nature. Bhajanti Ananya Manasu. They worship me without any deviation, without any aberration. Jnatva Bhutadim Avyayam. But the great soul ones, O son of Pritha, possessed of the divine Prakriti, knowing me to be the origin of beings and immutable, worship me with a single mind. So this is why we should worship him. Because here in this world we cannot get what we are trying to achieve. We cannot get. We can study this world as it is said in the Upanishad. Pariksha lokan karma chitan brahmanu nirvedam ayata naste kritena. Whatever is achievable by action. Say we work for 8 hours, we get some remuneration. So this is equivalent. We cannot get something which is not achievable by action. That means we cannot discover our real self, we cannot discover the nature of the divine by work. Therefore, one should be pursuing something which is helpful to achieve that goal. So that is why we should worship God. Bhajanti Ananya Manasa. It's not that, like I gave example of Olympian. He cannot do, say, 4 or 5 things. He concentrates only one thing. Then only he can excel. But what happens to us? We try to do many things at a time. And mind is scattered in those things. Without concentration, nothing can be achieved. So that is why Ananya Manasa. Without deviation. Avyavicharani bhakti. Without any aberration. So, but the great souled ones, O son of Pritha, possessed of the divine Prakriti, knowing me to be the origin of beings, Bhuta Adim Abhyayam. Why Abhyayam? Abhyayam means it is not distracting, or it is not getting Vyaya, immutable. So what is immutable? Which has no beginning, no end. And Bhutadi, who is the originator or originating this all creation. I am that. Bhutadi. I am the origin of all creation. You are the painter of all your paintings. You are the author of all your stories. And similarly, who has created this whole world? That is that we say God. So he is the origin of all creation. So he has no beginning, and Abhyaya, he has no end also. So he is the cause of this world, Jagat Karana. And he is cause of all causes. So he is that what is Anadi and what is Ananta, who has no beginning, no end. You also have no beginning, no end. Body has beginning, body has end. Mind has beginning, mind will also end one day. But the cause of your or you, the being, that is without beginning, without end. So, Mahatmanastu, those who are great souled, what they do, they worship me without any aberration, without any deviation. What they hold to, they hold their divine nature. Mahatmanastu mam Devim Prakriti Masrita, Devi Prakriti, they hold Devi Prakriti and Mam Bhajanti, Ananya Manasa. There is not a deviation, like Olympian, totally concentrated, totally one-pointed. So we go to the next. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha Dridhabrataha Namasyantascha Mam Bhaktya Nitya Yukta Upasate. Satatam, all the time. Kirtayanta. Kirtayanta, they talk about me, they sing about me, they contemplate me. Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha. They are trying, they are pursuing. It's not that they understood and then, okay, that's enough. Dridha Brata. So Dridha Brata means resolve, firm resolve. So they take firm resolve. Okay, I'll do this. So it is not like, first day of the year that we take resolve and then second, third day, then we discontinue. Not like that. Dridha Brata. They take resolve. No, this is the goal of life. Enough of this world. I have seen this world. Enough of this. So, Dridha Brata. Firm resolve. When one has taken firm resolve, then one should to walk. So if a person takes resolve, okay, I'll go to Olympic, but he does not try for it. He does not exercise, he does not eat correct diet, and also does not take consultation from psychologist, and he does not update his knowledge, etc., as I have just now explained, then he cannot achieve. So all these are effort, self-effort, very important. So, Dridhavrataha Yatantaha Cha, those who are, and Cha means and. Dridhabrata, they took firm resolve, but they are also striving. And they talk about me, they think about me, they sing about me. All the time they are talking. Not only talking, they are thinking about me. Not only in talk. That is why we need to sit daily, at least on stipulated hours. If we cannot do all the time, at least some hours to be reserved. Those hours we must practice. And Namasyantasya. Now, the first line is with self-effort. And the second line is the grace of God. Because we can see, even if we do, many times we may fail. There are 5 factors for every action. Adhishthanam tatha karta karanam cha pritak vidham vividhascha pritak cheshta devam chaivatra panchamam. Say, suppose you want to start a business. You must have an office. And then in that office, there must be some instruments. Karta, there means some officer should be there. Say you start a shop. So there should be a shop first. And then sellers also should be there. Otherwise, how can you handle? You cannot handle. Similarly, office must have an officer. Then there should be some instruments, say typewriter, telephone, etc., etc. Without that, officer is not utilized. Adhishthanam tatha karta karanam cha pritak vidham, various instruments. And instruments, an office, an officer is also there, but there is no effort. Nothing will happen. So vividhascha pritak cheshta. Efforts should be there. But it is seen that office is there, officer is there, instruments are also there. They're trying and to convince this is the best product in the whole world. But still it's not selling. So Devam Chaivatra Panchamam. So Deva here we can think about it as the system or the divine. So this is 5th. That's why we must be submissive, Sharanagati. Very important. We try our best. But then the Olympian also, maybe he'll miss by 1/100th of a second. So they were also to be propitiated. Namasyantasya mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasati. Therefore, they submit to me, and nitya yukta, they are always united with me. Nitya yukta. They upasate, they worship me. How? Not mechanically. Bhaktya, with devotion, with whole heart. It is not that they do it mechanically. Namasyantasya, they also offer obeisance to me. Glorifying me always and striving with firm resolve. Bowing down to me in devotion, always steadfast, they worship me. So these are the disciplines one should follow. That first one should have that resolve, firm resolve, Dridhabrata. And then after taking resolve, then one should strive for it. Yatantascha. And Satatam Kirtanta, all the time thinking, contemplating, meditating, even singing, talking about it. And satsang, very important. Satsang. Because then only we are inspired. And with inspiration comes resolve. And after resolve, then we try to do it. So this is very important. And then, various kinds of, we have, we had Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda Puja. Now in this month we have Sri Ramakrishna Puja. And before that, Holy Mother's Puja. Then after that, some other puja also will come. So it is not one-time job. Okay, I did once, that's enough. Rather, it's a continuous process. And we in and through all these we practice. Sometimes with worship, sometimes meditation, sometimes reciting the names of God. So this way, we are in constant touch with God or our higher nature. Those who don't admit God, okay, our higher nature. Satatam kirtayantaha mam. They sing about me. Satatam kirtayantaha mam. They were all the time, always kirtayantaha, glorifying me. And of firm resolve, yatantaha, that means those who are striving with earnestness. And they are nitting, so all the time joined with me, all the time united with me, and they worship me. And they do it with devotion. So these are the indication what we should do, how we should do, how we go about it. So Bhagavan is so kind that he is telling us in a short form how we progress in our spiritual life. That's very important. The time 56:11. Okay. So let us. This is very because this section ends here. So one, he starts with negation. Moghasha, mogha karmano, mogha jnana, vichetasaha. Those who are aviveki, not discriminating from good and bad. What is good and bad, not discriminating what is good and bad. Such a person, confused person. So his knowledge also will be confused and futile. When one is confused, whatever he does in wrong thing. So mogha jnana, mogha karma, and those who are confused, they will walk something which is wrong. And it will multiply. And naturally, they'll be hoping what is not good. They'll strive for something which is mundane, which is not spiritual. Such a person is confused, and it is kind of a vicious circle. He'll be under the spell of Mohini. Like when one is confused, he goes on doing something which is not expected. Such a person, Rakshasi Masurim Chaiva. So, of vain hopes, of vain works, of vain knowledge, and senseless, they verily are possessed of the delusive nature of Rakshasa and Asura. So it's not like demons, demonic character. Rakshasi vritti. They look like us, but their vrittis are different. It is not. And see, like within us also, as I said, within us also this various Rakshasi vrittis are there. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsari. Kama, desire, Krodha, anger, Moha, confusion, etc. These are the Rakshasi vritti one should be aware of. So one should not follow that. But the great souled ones, O son of Pritha, possessed of the divine Prakriti, knowing me to be the origin of beings and immutable, worship me with a single mind. Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakriti masrita. They depend on their divine nature. And bhajanti ananya manasa. They worship me without with unflinching mind. Unflinching mind. because they know that I am the origin and I am the cause of all causes. Therefore, without beginning and without end. Knowing this, it is not simple. We may say, yes, yes, we have heard so many times, but it's not that. We have to deeply understand this. Our nature also is like that. It's without beginning, without end. And we have to contemplate deeply. And therefore, such a person, bhajanti ananya manasa, without flickering, unflinching devotion, holding unflinching devotion. But the great souled ones, O son of Pritha, possessed of the divine Prakriti, knowing me to be the origin of beings and immutable, worship me with a single mind. And such a person, they have taken firm resolve, Dridhabrata, and he chooses such environment where such ideas are invigorated. And they strive also, yatantascha, and they think about me, sing about me, talk about me, satatam kirtayanto mam, namasyantas, and they worship me, they offer their obeisance, pranam to me. Bhaktya, with devotion, not like half-heartedly, not mechanically. Nitya yukta, all the time they are united with me. Te upasati, glorifying me always and striving with firm resolve, bowing down to me in devotion, always steadfast, they worship me. So we stop here. Hope there is no question. Yes, okay. Here? Okay.
In your comments on Shloka 13, you talked about 5 Pancha Yajnas. And Yajnas, we have learned, are sacrifices.
5.
Yes,
5. Let me enumerate.
Please.
One is Pitri Yajna, Rishi Yajna, Deva Yajna, then Nri Yajna, and Bhuta Yajna. Rishi Yajna I was forgetting. Pitri Yajna means parents.
Parents.
Second is Rishi Yajna, that is gurus. We are to worship them, but they are happy if we study and also spread knowledge. They are not interested whether we offer money or something like that. No, not material. Rather, if we contemplate deeply and spread knowledge, they are happy. Because they also received from their gurus, we also received from them. So Rishi Yajna. Pitri Yajna, Rishi Yajna, Deva Yajna. Deva means divine. Also, the principles. Deva Dotanavan, whatever shines, like principle of light, principle of air. So we are to clean our environment. And at the same time, the divinities, those who are presiding these, we say Varuna, and then various deities we conceive. So Deva Yajna. Then Nri Yajna, human being. Nri, Nara. Nara means human being.
What is the Sanskrit word?
N-R-I, Nri.
Say again.
N-R-I, Nri.
N-R-I.
Nri Yajna. And then Bhuta Yajna. We get help from various human beings. We also in return we are to serve human beings. Because we are indebted by these, so by offering 5 yajnas, somehow we think that we are relieved. We say our prayer, then we will see. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tatsat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Close together. Let's reach. Close together. Now as we say our Lord. Now as we say our Oh. Yeah, we have some Bhagavad Gita by Swami Swarupananda Ji Maharaj. So those who are interested, please, you can have it. A copy is good to remind all these wonderful thoughts. And it's not very complicated, simple meaning.